Penn Lacey is a former open race star of trainer Russell Samson and owner Stuart Locke-Hart. Locke-Hart is the owner's representative on the board of the BGRB and Penn Lacey the best bitch he's owned. So once her racing days were over, the intention was always to send her off to the breeding paddocks. A stakes winner at Coventry and 2770 bitch at Wimbledon, Russell and Stuart always had high hopes for the greyhound they call Bambi, making it as a brood. Russell takes up the story.
I took her to Ireland myself. I left her with Michael, Sean Dunphy, for it was about 8-9 days, which was a bit heartbreaking for me because she's indoors as a pet now, and I did drive Michael a little bit mad with 2 or 3 phone calls a day asking how she was. But she settles anywhere, she's good. So we left here about 7 o'clock on a Tuesday morning, arrived at the Dunphys about 9 o'clock in the evening, dropped her off, spent the night in the travel lodge and come straight home the next day.
So armed with his very own Penn Lacey cam, Russell returned to the Dunphys to be introduced to Bambi's newfound mate Droopy Scolari and the bitch herself, who's clearly delighted to see him.
Yeah, hello.
She knows you anyway.
She knows us.
Then it was back to the hotel before the next morning's ferry. And Bambi proved an excellent traveller, unlike a rather anxious, shall we say, father-to-be Russell. And then home, where the now pregnant Bambi was filmed here some way down the line to motherhood.
Tell us about gestation periods. How long does it take for your new puppies to come out?
63, 64 days it says in the book, and that's what it was. It's amazing. Yeah, spot on. Started 7 o'clock, I believe, on a Monday evening. She finished off, it was around about 5 o'clock in the morning. And all went well, very well.
And here's a dog's first, pup number 1.
Here we go.
Your first experience of breeding?
Yeah. Oh, petrified. Absolute stroke of luck that Owen McKenna's Derby dogs were staying with us at the time, and Paul Davis was here. And if he hadn't have been here, I don't know what would have happened. He just saw us through it all. A big thanks goes to him, yeah.
Penn Lacey had 8 pups, 4 black and 4 blue, 7 dogs and 1 bitch, all born healthy and were soon latching on to mother. And for owner Locke-Hart, a timely tonic in the face of some tough recent times.
Stuart, before we talk about greyhounds, first about yourself. You've been ill recently. How are you getting on?
Yeah, I'm recovering well. As you know, I had primary cancer of the liver. I've gone my treatments of chemo and radiotherapy, which I've now finished. I go to see the doctor back in a week's time, and we then obviously go back for another scan when he's ready. He said a few weeks, and take it from there. But I'm feeling fine. A lot better than I did a few months ago.
Well, that's good. And as you were saying to me earlier, that positive thoughts and things to look forward to are a help, and obviously knowing the pups are on the way must have helped.
Yeah, that's brilliant. I mean, that's something. I think with anybody with this illness, if you can think forward and have some goal, and the pup's a great goal, because it's not today, it's not tomorrow. It's let's see them get to the track, let's see them win something. I mean, so you're talking 2 years more down the line, and that's something to live for, and I will.
Filmed here at roughly 6 weeks old, mother and pups are clearly doing well. Sire Droopy Scolari is related to those top trackers, Droopy's Maldini and Marco, and was an easy choice for Stuart.
Scolari was a dog that had very few races, but was, in the opinion of his owners, probably as good, if not better than Maldini, and unfortunately broke his leg, as you know, in the produce stakes over in Ireland. So we decided to go with him purely because he had no Australian breeding inside him. Penn Lacey has Top Honcho as a sire, and I wanted to steer away from the Australian breeding because certain Australian breedings over the last few years have not, in my opinion, produced dogs that, should we say, used to go through brick walls. In the old days of the Manorville Majors and everything else, they were dogs that really went for it. And they'd become a bit soft. So trying to go back into the Irish strain of breeding, we felt that this was obviously the right sort of sire for Penn Lacey to go to. So that was the reason we had to send her over to Ireland. Well, in fact, Russell took her over to Ireland to be mated, and the pups are there for everybody to see.
And the evidence, 8 very strong pups.
8 very strong pups, but 7 dogs and 1 bitch. I usually have 7 bitches and 1 dog, so I mean that was really a good plus.
So Russell, little fellas now, very cute, just running around the pen and the garden here. But of course they get bigger, don't they?
They get bigger. Unfortunately, they get bigger. Yeah, it'd be lovely if they stayed like this. People come round and see them. I want one. But you've got to explain. They grow full size and they're not quite as fun as they are when they're like this.
And they've got a job to do.
They've got a job to do. At the end of the day, yeah, they'd be sent to Ireland around about second week in September to carry on, be reared and schooled and see how they turn out.
So why Ireland? Why didn't you choose some of the top breeders here in England?
I could have done. I haven't even really thought about that. There are a few that I would go to. I feel that Ireland has more of the freedom, more of the hard rearing, if you like, ones that really have to make it over there. It's a case of sending them out in these fields and they run for miles, and hopefully they'll come back as really strong, hard, well-bred dogs. You can't be soft in breeding.
As a trainer, Russell Samson's biggest success was winning the Yarmouth Derby with Casey's Shadow, but he hung up his lead last year when Penn Lacey suffered a career-ending injury at Coventry and felt he wanted a change.
Yeah, I just wasn't enjoying it as I was. When the injury happened to Penn Lacey at Coventry, it was a bad experience. I love looking after them, and obviously we've got Bambi here, we've got Joe, brother Joe, still here as a pet, and the puppies. I love being here with them. I just didn't want to go racing anymore.
Russell, you said you were disillusioned with the game, the rules and regulations. Here you go, this is your platform. Tell us in no more than a minute what you'd change about the game. There's new regulators coming into the sport. Surely they should be listening to opinions of people like yourself.
Maybe not me. I'm just an owner trainer who has a couple of dogs in the back garden, but there's other people they should be listening to. I think they get kennelled for too long. Much too long. I don't really want to go into it and start saying things, but there's other people more experienced than me.
So Russell might not be putting a lead on these pups, but someone will, and that someone might be in Ireland as well as here in Britain.
I mean, I do race dogs myself in Ireland at the moment. I mean, I've got 3 dogs there at the moment that run, and the prize money, if you like, almost pays the kennel bill. Something that happened in this country many years ago. So the answer is, if I still owned 4 dogs, for instance, I might well keep an odd 1 or 2 in Ireland to race.